Hey, I'm Reagan Ram with OrpheusAudioAcademy.com, helping you make better music and grow your fan base online. And here we are in Logic. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you why you should mix in mono and also how to actually set this up inside of Logic Pro 10. And I have my mix bus here, and on it, I have the gain plugin here from inside of Logic. And this is how you set up mono, because on it, it has a little button here called mono, and I just click from off to on, and boom, our entire mix is now in mono. And so you can find that simply by going down to the utility folder here in your plugins and then choosing a gain. And that is how we do it. And so now we have mono turned on, and don't worry about this gain actually being turned up here. I just did that during my gain staging process of this mix, as I found my mix as a whole was a little bit quiet. Anyway, with this enabled, we now have our mix in mono. Now, why do you want to mix in mono? Because on the surface, this sounds crazy because mono sounds horrible when your entire mix is in mono. That means everything is centered. It's going straight down the middle. You don't have anything panned left and right. You don't have a stereo mix anymore. But the reason you want to mix in mono is because it basically forces you to make a good mix when it comes to frequency, content, and volume and dynamics. So this is kind of the first part of mixing. If you beyond organization and editing, when you first start mixing, you want to create a good volume balance and you want to create a good frequency range balance. So meaning that every instrument, every sound kind of has its own place in the mix, and nothing is really clashing with each other in terms of frequency, content. And then you also, just volume wise, you want to make sure that everything is balanced there, that your louder sections are louder and your quieter sections are quieter. And so we want to make sure that everything has a nice mix in the frequency range, but then also in the volume range as well. And so having mono turned on helps you do that, because when you're listening back to your track in stereo, sometimes there are problems that you can't really see. They're kind of masked by panning, because certain instruments might be clashing with each other in the frequency spectrum, but because they're panned away from each other, you can't really hear it. And so by doing this, it forces you to create that great balanced mix. And then you can go in and add panning and effects and everything like that to make it even better. So let's listen to this in mono and we can kind of see how it sounds. And so the goal is really to make it a good sounding mix in mono. And if you can do a good sounding mix in mono, then it should sound good in stereo. So obviously it sounds bad because it's in mono, but you can still hear everything. You can clearly hear the bass, you can hear the chords, you can hear the little synth arp, and you can hear the plucks that are kind of the lead or the melody there in this song, which is an instrumental. And now when we turn this to stereo, it should sound really good. Let's hear. So you can see everything is even bigger and wider and spacier now that we have switched to stereo. And so this is kind of a little secret weapon in your arsenal when you are mixing, is to mix in mono. And that's going to basically force you to create a nice, well-balanced mix. Now, if you want more help with mixing, then be sure to grab my rapid song finishing checklist in the description below, and this will walk you through a proven step-by-step mixing formula you can follow to crank out professional, radio-worthy tracks consistently every single time, so you have more amazing music to release. This is completely free, and you can download it in the description below or go to OrpheusAudioAcademy.com/mixing checklist. All right, and if you want to check out more of my mixing tutorials, I'll have a playlist on the screen now that you can check out. Otherwise, have an awesome day and keep creating.